Hey guys, it's Phil here. Got some really exciting big news for all of you Terminator heads out there. I got to see the upcoming Terminator movie that's coming out November 1st, and I think it's going to blow a lot of people away. I think it's really going to be a boost for this franchise and really excite moviegoers when they see this. Now, I know some of you are talking about, well, Phil, you had the Game of Thrones finale, and that was not completely correct. And I would agree, yes, that did happen. What I did have was a manuscript at that time, and manuscripts change, and that's probably what happened in that case. Now, what I have here is I have the actual movie on a thumb drive here. And while I can't show you the whole movie for legal reasons, I will at least show you a little bit of it just to prove that I have it. And there's some plot points in here that are really just going to blow you guys away. And so I'm going to plug this in, and I'll at least show you the very beginning of it. Let you take a look at that. Hopefully we can see it on the screen here. So how about that? That's about all I can show you for legal purposes, unfortunately. But so in this movie, what's going to happen here is now a lot of you are probably thinking, well, there's there's a new Terminator in this movie. There's going to be just they're going to propel the story of fighting, and the future keeps changing and so forth. Well, that is a very small actually a very small part of this movie. There's a little misdirection going on here because they're trying to hide some of the surprises. Now in the trailer, some of you've seen the trailer, and you'll notice Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, the T-800, comes back, and he's living in this cabin, it seems like, and there's not really any explanation as to what he's doing there, but it's a very exciting moment when he shows up. Well, what happens is it's demonstrated in the movie that the Sarah Connor character and Arnold's Terminator character have fallen in love over the course of the many movies that have transpired, and they've gotten to know each other, and they're in love now. But the problem and the sort of the driving point of the movie is that they want to get married, but they can't get married because he's a robot and she is a human. So she's looking for a way to help Mackenzie, the female Terminator who's there, who's helping along the way. They're helping because there are more future Terminators coming back, because they're trying to stop this marriage that's going to happen between Arnold and Sarah Connor, and they're trying to prevent that. Now, there's the future world problem, there's the real world problem, which is, the Terminator and Sarah Connor can't exactly go to the courthouse and get married, right? Because they're not both human beings. So what's going to happen is the lady Terminator comes back and says, I have new technology here that can help you guys. And that's not really clear yet either, except that Arnold goes to his place of solitude out in the mountains there, where he kind of hangs out all alone and does, I don't know what he does exactly out there, but he goes there. There's a new, this device that comes up out of the ground. It's kind of cool looking. And this holographic image of Hicks appears, and he tells Arnold, if you can step into this machine here, it will turn you from a Terminator into a human, with the warning that if you do this, you will never be able to go back to being a Terminator. You're going to be a human forever. Of course, the Terminator loves Sarah Connor. He goes into it. Then becomes flesh and blood. He turns into a human so that they can get married. And then the other big twist is it turns out that the female Mackenzie, the Terminator in this movie, is actually the future daughter of Sarah Connor and Arnold's Terminator. And she comes back, and it was sent by Ed Furlong's character, who's in the movie, the original son, who sent her back, who was already born but hasn't been born yet. It's kind of confusing. You've got to kind of follow the track here. So she was born, she's obviously born in the future because Arnold and Sarah Connor get married there toward the end of the movie. Then she comes back to save them and make sure they get together. And then once they have a kid, then she's able to kind of return. It's kind of just a big, time warp cycle there. So it's pretty cool. And then, of course, at the very end, after the other Terminator trying to stop them from getting married, they end up defeating them. And there's a big wedding scene at the end where the lady Terminator is trying to keep all this straight. The lady Terminator is the officiant of the wedding, and that's kind of how it all wraps up. Edward Furlong, the John Connor character, he comes back from the future to attend the wedding. Hicks comes back from the future to attend the wedding, and everybody's crying at the end. Tears are flowing, and great big ending there. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of what happens, and I hope you guys like it, because I really liked it, and I think you guys are going to be excited when you see it. And anyway, that is what happens in the Terminator Dark Fate movie. Don't tell anybody. This is Phil here, signing off.